My name is Taylor Jackson, aka Lilbro Taylor, and with another season of Hard Knocks drama on and off the field upon us, Apollo Media is here to take you off the gridiron. Isn't that right, Noah? What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another installment of Off the Gridiron, an NFL podcast presented by Apollo Media, all Houston, all original. I am Lil Bro, aka Taylor Jackson, with my boy Noah the Outlaw.
What's
How
up?
are we feeling? Week 1 in the books, baby.
Crazy weekend for the NFL. A lot of great storylines, a lot of great things happening, a lot of upsets. It was exciting. The Saints only beat the Falcons by 1 point. You know, a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Hey, and the Texans lost by 0 points.
That's true. We tied, but we didn't lose. Now it's 0-0
at the top of the division.
At the top, tied for first. And also, looking around the AFC South, Texans might win this damn division.
Everybody looked really bad.
Everybody
looked really, really bad.
It looked rough. It looked very, very rough. So I guess we'll just hop into the Texans talk then, because wow, like what a stupid game.
Did it give you Chiefs playoffs vibes?
It gave me just I don't even know what vibes it gave. The worst vibes. Like after I was talking about it after the game ended, I was just like, I'd rather lose.
The offense just absolutely stalled out. In the second half.
Well, because they were moving it. Like Davis, he didn't have a bad game. I mean, 240 yards or 280 yards, I think. 240 yards. His completion percentage was fine. 2 touchdowns.
I don't think he had a pick either.
No picks. 1 fumble, but I don't know, man. He got destroyed on that play. It is. Yeah, but overall, I mean, for the first 3 quarters of the game, I really liked what I saw from the Texans on both sides of the ball.
I mean, star of the show for the Texans has to be that defense. Yeah. The way they were getting in there, that goal line stop showed you that this secondary is going to be for real this year.
Yeah, no, they were ball hawking. They were knocking balls out, just punching the ball out everywhere. Jerry Hughes, man.
Oh yes,
Jerry Hughes is the third player, in Texans franchise history to have a interception, a sack, and a forced fumble in one game. Like this game was incredible from Jerry Hughes. The interception was a great, just an amazing play. And Jerry Hughes was a guy that when we signed him, a lot of people were like, "Who the fuck? Why make this move? What does he bring to the team?" This is what he brings to the team. He's a veteran, and he's a dude. He's a baller. He's a baller, dude. He's out there. He's hitting, and obviously getting picks and forcing fumbles.
How did we feel about the new secondary pieces coming in there? Stingley, I think, like we said just now, him getting that hand in there on that goal line on that dig route that was actually very well run.
Yeah.
He was just able to extend and get excellent positioning. Petrie, some growing pains.
Yeah, so start with Stingley. There was times he didn't get burnt really, but there was times where he was getting beat. You know what I mean? It wasn't, but they were also playing. Lovey's defense is very much don't give up the big play, right? Like Stingley's playing back. He'll give up the 7-yard little whatever routes, and like he gave a few of those up, but that's just Lovey's defense. That's how Lovey coaches them up. So I don't mind it as much, but no, like I loved what I saw from Stingley, especially on that play, like you mentioned. It was a great play there, and like playing like that in the red zone is very important. And Petrie, he did a lot of things I liked. I just love that call that he got for unnecessary roughness was on some bullshit. I feel the
missed interception at the end of the game that probably would have won us the game.
Yeah, it's stuff like
that.
Right,
and let's not skim over it. It was right there. It was right there. He was gearing up trying to lay the wood on whoever was coming up the seam there.
Yeah,
and lost focus. Had the ball go seemingly right through him like a video game.
Yeah.
And, that ended up, that's the reason why the Texans don't have a W in the column right now.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also there was a missed sack. There was a couple things that Petrie did there, or maybe not a missed sack, but definitely a missed TFL that would have put us in good position, got them out of field goal range, probably would have got the ball back. It's a bummer. But overall, like for his first game in the NFL, there was a lot I liked. You know what I mean? And there's just, like I said, there's growing pains. He'll get better. He'll figure it out. You know, they're going to coach him up. They're going to watch film. And that's one thing I really hope the Texans are good at. Just don't make these mistakes again.
Yeah,
See it, do it one time, figure it out, and don't do it again.
Well, I mean, that's if you're going to go with all these high ceiling guys, you're going to have some growing pains.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the other side of it. But let's talk about the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Newly acquired tight end O.J. Howard absolutely going nuclear for the Texans first game out.
Yeah, that just didn't even make sense to me. I mean, it makes. I'm not saying O.J. like I didn't expect him to be good, but 2 touchdowns in the first game, the only 2 touchdowns that Davis threw. That's incredible. I love it. They just weren't covering him.
He slots very well in this offense.
Yeah, he does. And yeah, I mean, I liked it. I hope he can continue that. I think him and Davis will have a good connection throughout the year. Man, I'm happy to see him to come in and do get started early and just start producing.
And then Dameon Pierce as well. We didn't see that one breakout huge run, but at the same time, there's a lot of runs where I felt like he was maybe one step away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one broken tackle away or one shoelace tackle away from breaking big runs. And he just didn't get enough playing time, at all. This is definitely probably my second biggest gripe of that game, other than not going for it on that 4th and 3.
And we will tackle that in a second.
Yeah, we will get into that. But Dameon Pierce just wasn't. We're going into this week. He's apparently RB1. Everyone's hyping him up. But Rex Burkhead is in on every. I'm going to get mad. Rex Burkhead's in on every fucking play.
It's week 1. You got a rookie. How much trust are you really going to put in a rookie there?
More than Rex Burkhead? Dameon Pierce literally was so underutilized in Florida. That is why. That's why he fell to the 4th round. And then we're doing the same thing. And I get it. It is week 1, and I think I think that's gonna change. I think he'll get more carries, but what are we doing here? I'm sorry, Rex Burkhead got 80% of the carries. Why? No. At least split them. At least go 50-50.
I mean, this is why you dropped everybody else.
Exactly.
You made him
we cut Marlon Mack. I'd rather have Marlon Mack out there than Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, if that is the prerogative, if it is going to be a shared backfield, I don't understand the Mack move. Then.
Yeah, I don't either. So that was one thing that was pissing me off because I know that he's more talented than Rex Burkhead. And look, Rex Burkhead's a fine player, and I'm happy he's a Houston Texan, and he seems like a great guy, and he's a good back. But I don't want him getting majority of the carries. He doesn't need to be getting majority of the carries. And if he is, make it like a 60-40 split. He had 80%. He was in there 80% of the downs.
While we're groping about coaching decisions, the Houston Texans take the Indianapolis Colts to overtime.
Which first off shouldn't
have a chance right around midfield, 4th and 5, to go get this game.
Not even get a dub. 4th and 3. It was 4th and 3, which is even if 4th and 5. That's a little more difficult. Well, first off, you got to start with the play before. Back to Rex Burkhead.
Is Lovey scared?
He played like it, and that pisses me off, man. What do you have to lose, bro?
Absolutely nothing. That's the thing that really boggled my fucking head about this whole deal. You have nothing to lose.
No, nothing. Okay, well, if you lose to the Colts week 1. Well, that's kind of what everyone thought was going to happen anyway. I hate seeing the 3-number record. I hate 0-1 disgusts me. And also, before that 4th and 3, what led to that 4th and 3? 3rd and 1, okay? Davis has been connecting with Cooks. Davis has been hitting his tight ends. Davis has been hitting Chris Moore for some good plays.
Cooks had a good game, too.
Cooks did have a good game. What are we doing running it up the middle on 3rd and 1 with Rex Burkhead in overtime?
Because he's scared.
But also, I'm like, is that Lovey or is that Pep Hamilton? Because I have been nothing but a supporter of Pep Hamilton. But, Pep, what are you doing, dude? What are we doing here? 3rd and 1 in overtime with Rex Burkhead? Get Davis Mills a shot and shotgun formation, sling the rock. Hit a slant route or something.
I don't hate the decision to run it if you're making the decision to go for it on 4th. I'm okay with a run than a pass.
Yes.
Or
absolutely.
Even going for 2 runs if you're trying to catch them on their heels or something. But to run and then punt.
Okay, also, back to this again. Look, Rex Burkhead is a good back. He's quick. He's not a power runner. I mean, he is, but you got another guy named Dameon Pierce who eats 3rd and 1s for breakfast. That's his thing. He's going to bust through that line. He's stout, and oh my God, he's just a little missile, dude. He'll get through there. And you give it to Rex Burkhead. Get Dameon in there. Oh, gosh. I haven't thought about this in a couple days, and I'm just going through it again. And I'm like, it made me so mad. And then also, be aggressive. Go for the win. Don't go for the fucking tie, man.
Overall grade for the team, week 1. Because at the end of the day, you didn't lose to a team that everybody said you were gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them like a B-. I love the defense, and it's just like finish. Dude, if they would have played the way they played in the first 3 quarters up until the end of that game would have probably ended in at least 23-6. They would have won. If they would have just finished. And they didn't. And then they go to overtime, and then we're lucky. The fact that we were up 20-3, and then we were lucky that we even tied because Rodrigo Blankenship missed a kick that he probably should have made. It's just nuts. And kickers, there was something in the water for kickers.
My God, nobody can make a kick. We'll tackle all that here in a little bit. And there's a lot of surprise. I mean, this Monday night game, Texans matchup for next week, Denver Broncos go down to the Seattle Seahawks in
which I'm watching that
fashion.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm watching that game on last night on Monday, and I'm like, man, maybe the Texans will, but I'm not gonna say that yet because the Texans gave up 500 yards of total offense.
That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot. So I don't know. What did you think about the game? Like, I mean, I feel like I've just been ranting.
I mean, I think they did a lot better than I thought they were going to get wiped out. So I think this is a better decision than I thought they were going to come up with. They also, at the same time, absolutely threw the game away. Yeah. It definitely gave me Chiefs playoff vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see what you mean by that. It sucks. Luckily, it wasn't in a game like that where it was like it was soul crushing. We still have,
but my biggest takeaway by far is, I don't want to call it cowardly, but the cowardly move to punt the ball.
Well, and it's just as Lovie Smith. I feel like he's such a dated coach, and that's one thing I didn't like.
I mean, that may be a problem you run into all season long.
Absolutely, and like he coaches like he's coaching in 2004. Like, bro, it's 2022. We got to be aggressive. You go for it on 4th and 3 and overtime to get the win. You don't run it up with hard nose. Rex Burkhead up the middle. No, dude, sling that shit. Sling that shit, and that goes to Pep too. Pep Hamilton needs to, the offensive coordinator for the Texans, Pep Hamilton. He's got to take over there, and I don't. Obviously Lovey has the power, and I don't know if Lovey was in his ear saying run it. Or if that's one thing they discuss, it's like if we're in this situation, we're going to run it up the middle with Rex Burkhead. I don't know. Also, another thing that annoyed me, and this is one thing I noticed immediately, Titus Howard, who should be our full-time a right tackle on every single down, was playing guard again. Was playing right guard, and that's what David Culley did last year, and he ruined a year of Titus's development. And Titus, all throughout training camp, was talking about how he's back at right tackle. He's back in his position. We had Charlie Heck at right tackle and Titus at right guard. What are we doing? We saw that didn't work. And Titus, in the years where he's purely a right tackle, he was a first round pick for us in 2018 or 2019. I forgot which one. He's playing, but they had him playing guard. Then he would go to tackle. Then they just moving him around. What are we doing? Stop doing that.
There was some good, there was some bad, but I think we could agree there were growing pains all around the league for week 1. Yeah. We will do a rapid fire conquest of the rest of the league right here after the break.
Yep. God, I'm fucking pissed.
All right, hold on. Let me pull these games up. All right, we'll start off with the underdog thing. Or
You mean the upset?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, week 1 in the books, and I think everybody can agree that the defense has had a bit of a step on the offense.
Yeah.
Moving in this first week here. Upsets really across the board.
Yeah.
A ton of
lot of
teams
them.
you did not expect to lose went out there and lost some football games.
Yeah.
Out of all the underdogs who won this week, who is your pick? Who's the one that surprised you the most? That tickled your chin?
There's a lot of them, obviously, like you just mentioned, but really, I just had the most fun watching the Seahawks beat the Broncos last night.
I mean, that was a storyline.
It was nuts, and you could tell, obviously Russ is coming back to Seattle. He's played his first game on the Denver Broncos after being a cornerstone of that franchise for so long. And he comes in and is hyped. You could see he's walking around. He had this really loud, flashy suit on and stuff. And nobody gave the Seahawks a chance. Nobody gave them a shot in this game. And then Geno Smith comes out. And, dude, there was a point he was like 16 for 17 with 2 touchdowns and like 100-something.
What was the line he had at the end of the game?
Dude,
it was so good. It was
his final line of the game. Let me pull it up.
I
see what you mean.
They counted me out, but I didn't call back.
I didn't call back.
What was it? It was something like that.
They called. I remember. I don't remember what it was either. But it was a bar. He was spitting, dude. But I was just so happy to see that, man. You could just see the passion. The Seahawks heard that shit. They heard the noise, and everyone was making the game about Russ.
12th man was rocking too. That secondary for Seattle looked damn good.
Crazy.
They were smothering.
Yeah.
Those Broncos wide receivers.
Yeah. No, and like, I don't know. I don't know what this says about the Seahawks or what this says about the Broncos more. I guess we'll see. I guess the Texans have a good test playing the Broncos this Sunday, and the Broncos have a good test in the Texans because if we even play them competitively and it's a close game down to the wire, the Broncos are.
They're gonna have to take a deep, long, hard look at themselves.
And you got to think this is a terrible. I think the biggest loser of the Broncos game is Nathaniel Hackett. Their head coach was kind of abysmal.
He didn't let Russ cook.
He didn't let Russ cook. So it was funny. There's a clip going around from the Manning cast because it was Peyton and Shannon Sharp were so mad because they have 40 seconds left on the clock. And then the Broncos go out and try to get the Seahawks to jump off sides. They took 20 seconds off the clock, and then they did that just to go for the 64-yard field goal. That doesn't happen. No one makes 64-yard field goals. No one does.
Nobody made any field goals.
No,
this whole week during the witching hour, which is that little part, that little 30-minute window when all the 12 o'clock games are ending. Mm-hmm. I have never seen so many missed kicks just rummaging across my TV screen. It was incredible.
It was nuts.
At one point, Scott Hansen couldn't even keep up with how many turnovers were happening across the league. I am in love with week 1. I love chaos.
Me too.
This was such a good week. And my dog, the game that was so sloppy, so gross, and I had so much fun watching it, was 49ers against the Chicago Bears. Chicago takes down the Niners 19-10, and they were playing in a monsoon. They were playing in a mud field.
It was just flooded. Like they were doing like slip and slides after the game.
Yeah. Like after a turnover, you'll see the defense go for a legit slip and slide that'll take them 30 yards.
Yeah. No, that game was fun. That says, and I can't judge anything from that game though. You can't really, because like you said, they're playing in a monsoon. A lot of people are giving Trey Lance shit for that, and I'm just like I don't know if Trey's going to be good or not, but that game, I just feel like it wasn't a fair test for week 1.
Say what you want. I mean, Justin Fields got it done.
He did. But Justin Fields.
I always hate prerogatives like this. That it's like well, he had to play in this and this and that. I'm like, well, so did the fucking other guy.
Yeah, but True, but also Justin has just more experience. Trey, he played last year. You know what I mean? Trey didn't. I'm not, and look, trust me, I'm not a big Trey. I'm not very high on Trey Lance. I'm Team Jimmy, like in that situation. But no, but that game was fun to watch for sure. It was very interesting.
I love sloppy games. I love sloppy games. We already talked. We already stepped on the Bills Rams, right?
No, we have not talked about that yet.
Bills Rams, yeah. Bills look like far and behold the Super Bowl favorites now.
Yeah, Bills.
Them and the Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs. The Bill and the Chiefs as well. Just it wasn't even fair to what they were doing to the Cardinals. It just wasn't even. It was like the Chiefs bullied the Cardinals week 1. There was a point I turned it on. It was like 31-7. Pat had just thrown his 4th, I think, and Kyler hadn't done anything. It was rough.
Seattle Seahawks are leading the NFC West right now.
That's nuts.
Rams lost, Cardinals lost.
Hey, the Texans and the Colts tied for AFC South, man. Yeah, it was a crazy. This was an insane week 1. Also, I want to touch on Packers Vikings.
Yeah,
Kevin O'Connell got his first win. What did you think about that game?
Justin Jefferson. Oh my God, he's a dog.
Yeah.
He just fine. The way he runs routes is very AB like, where it's just like, how do you keep getting open?
Yeah.
Like we've thrown to you 75 times. How are you still open?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. And like also I just feel for Aaron, man.
Do you?
A little. I like Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron. And I feel for him because this is exactly what he's been warning the Packers about. He's like, hey, Devontae's my only weapon. If something happens, if he goes somewhere else and you're out here spending first round picks on Jordan Love, what are we doing here? And I know Alan Lazard didn't play.
He's the one that signed the contract though. He re-upped there.
True, but they were like, we'll give you $50 million a year.
It's Aaron fucking Rodgers. He could have got that anywhere.
I don't know. I really don't think he's getting $50 million anywhere else. 50?
Yeah.
All right, maybe. Look, you're right. He could have gone anywhere, but he's loyal. He was loyal to Green Bay, which I respect, and they're just showing him. They're doing exactly what he said that was going to happen. He has no one to throw it to.
The offense was dead. But we also saw this last year. I mean, Saints Packers played first game of the year last year. I think Saints won like 33-3, something like that, and they looked abysmal. We were talking all this shit, and all of a sudden we saw Packers in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
this could just be another round in the fucking Ferris wheel. Yeah. Speaking of the Saints, though, squeaking by the Falcons, by the hairs of our chinny chin chin.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Started off slow. Defense didn't look super sharp, but they were able to force some turnovers. Tyrann Mathieu looked very good. And then midway through the third quarter, the receivers just came alive. Yeah. Michael Thomas, he's back. He's so back.
Two almost
identical touchdowns.
I have
bullying AJ Terrell.
I have to admit, I haven't watched any of that game.
Oh my God, you got to go watch it. And then Jarvis Landry,
I was about to ask
at the very end of the game, probably a 40-yard pass to put us in field goal range.
Wow.
Will Lutz missed the entire last year. One of the top 5 kicker in the league in my.
Fuck that guy.
Will Lutz? Oh my God, dude.
That guy, he's probably my least favorite kicker.
I'd put my life on a Will Lutz 40-yarder.
No, ever since week 1 of 2019, I hate Will Lutz. He had that 61-yarder to beat the Texans, and y'all should have lost. Y'all know you should have lost that game. Mm-hmm. Y'all did not deserve to win that game. Maybe cover Kenny Stills that game, and maybe we'll talk. But no, damn it, I hate Will Lutz. But I'm happy that y'all squeaked out. The Falcons, how did the Falcons look?
Drake London looked really good.
I bet he did.
Marcus Mariota looked much better than I thought he was going to look.
Dude, he's a vet. And he started for Tennessee a lot. Like I'm not saying he's gonna.
He looks so fucking weird when him and Tua look so weird when they throw the ball.
Yeah,
like it's like a fucked up Madden animation.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back and watch that game. I wasn't able. You know what game I did when I watched the highlights for, and I was like, this game I wish I was watching it live because it seemed fun. Well, the 2 games actually. The Commanders and Jaguars.
Yeah, I was watching that. That was popping up on Red Zone. That was a little back and forth.
That was.
There.
Trevor looked fine, but like honestly, James Robinson and Travis Etienne there in Jacksonville is going to be a good duo.
I like Etienne a lot.
And also, but the Commanders. Here's the thing. It might be a little bit of a hot take here. I think the NFC East is. I think the Eagles better watch out for the Commanders, man. I really do, because the Commanders. I think Carson's going to have a good year.
I don't disagree with that. I think he'll have a fine year.
Dude, they have dogs everywhere. And we were talking about this. You remember I traded for Antonio Gibson. You clowned me for that.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting reports left and right that, he's not even the RB1 anymore.
Dog. Curtis Samuel, dog. Jahan Dotson, dog.
Dotson was a dog. That snag in the end zone was sick.
Yes. Terry McLaurin, dog. Carson Wentz, dog.
Yeah, I mean, you may be right here.
Ron Rivera, dog.
But the Eagles were able to squeak out a win.
They were. That was another really fun game.
Same fucking prerogative with the Lions. You know, they're just not enough. Just barely not enough.
I was taking notes when I was watching the highlights for that game, and I wrote down Dan Campbell definitely cried after this. like Dan Campbell, because it was they were down 31-14. And they ended up losing 35 to 30. Wait, what was it? 38-35, I think. And it's like they came back. Jared Goff was out there trying his best. But Jalen Hurts, man, everyone would say like Lamar's a running back. You want to talk about a running back that's playing quarterback is Jalen Hurts. Like he's not a bad
field vision.
He's crazy. He can sling it a little bit, but damn, when he runs around and he's scrambling, you're fucked. He's gonna make something happen with his feet. So the Eagles looked solid, but it's interesting that they had it so close against the Lions, who a lot of people kind of were counting out. But that's just happened a lot. It's NFL Week 1. It's gonna happen.
Absolutely. So many games decided at the very end. We got Browns Panthers. Browns fucking pulling it out last second.
Yeah. Browns Panthers was a heartbreaker because I was
going for Baker.
Yeah, oh man, me too. And that's kind of because I've never been a big Baker guy. He went to OU and he was good at OU, and I am a Longhorns fan, so I hated him at OU. Then he went to the Browns, and I never really. He was like he got drafted number 1 overall. I thought there were way better options for the Browns. I've never been super supportive of Baker. Not that I've been like hating on him or anything, but like I just have never been a huge fan of him. But I was rooting for him hard because of the obvious craziness in the offseason that, of course, anyone's rooting for Baker. But, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucked to see that. But he didn't have a bad game, I don't think. I mean, he had a couple tutties.
He played fine.
He had a pick. He had a pick, which is a bummer. You don't like to see that. But, yeah, that was an interesting game. Brian Dable gets his first win with the Giants.
Yep.
It's kind of sloppy, but they played the Titans.
Saquon's all the way back though.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit!
Now just get a competent quarterback.
And that decision at the end to just fuck it. He's been tearing them up all game. Let Saquon run it down their throats one more time to get the win.
And he did it. And it was scary too, because that play. It was kind of like he kind of got caught up a little bit there in the backfield.
Yeah. But
I was like,
that's why you think he's so damn good, because he was able to get that second effort in.
Yeah, no, that was a great play. That was a great play. Love seeing Saquon back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But every time I talk about the Giants, and any time I want to get excited about the Giants, I go, oh no, I can't get excited about the Giants. Their quarterback is Daniel Jones, and he sucks. Daniel Jones is bad at football.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I feel so bad for Giants fans because. If they would have just done anything, dude, after watching that game, if they would have traded for Jimmy in the offseason, that's a good little football team we got.
It could be.
It's a good football team. Is Evan? Was it not
Ingram?
Evan? No, Evan Neal. Right? Not Evan Neal. Who is Kayvon Thibodeau? Mm-hmm. Plays for the Giants, but isn't he injured, or did he play this week? Do you know?
I don't know. There was so much football going on.
There was. I can't remember because I think he got injured in the preseason. I'm gonna see. Let me look this up.
While you look that up, I'm gonna start touching on Steelers Bengals. A little bit of a Super Bowl hiccup there for Cincinnati, and this is another game where nobody. This was an insane game.
Yeah.
Minka Fitzpatrick oh my God.
Dog.
The pick six, the blocked kick. He is the reason Pittsburgh won this game.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And that is over the past 5 years, I got to say that's a top 3 trade that's probably been made for a team.
For sure. Yeah, and Joe Burrow just, man, you can't do that, man. He can't throw 4 picks and fumble twice.
It's a lot of turnover.
And he's still, what's nuts is he still played fairly well other than that. His numbers
Other
for the
than
day weren't
the
bad.
6 turnovers.
Well, no, I know, but what I'm saying is like fantasy wise and stuff, like he put up a lot of points, but damn, like,
yeah.
and also, dude, like the Jamar Chase stuff, like Jamar Chase had like 3 touchdowns, but only like one of them got called. He had a nuts like one-handed catch in the end zone.
That was insane.
His foot just like barely stepped out. But yeah, and then also just like back to the kickers thing, like that overtime was nuts. Nobody can make a kick. Nobody. But I'm happy the Steelers deserve to pull that one out. If the Bengals would have won with 6 turnovers, I would have been like, how it just wouldn't have felt right. And Mike Tomlin is just the god. Mike Tomlin is just a great coach, and he's gonna. People are putting the Steelers down, saying they're gonna be bad, but they're probably still gonna pull something out. Mitch didn't look great though. Mitch looked very blah. I would be starting. I feel like Pickett starts by week 4.
Yeah, I could see Tomlin making the move.
It's just there's going to be a point where they're like, look, Pickett was great in the preseason. Let's throw him in because whatever, man.
Tomlin is the type of guy to make that type of move.
Yeah, he is. And like with Mitch, their ceiling is here, and I feel like with Pickett, their ceiling could be a little higher. They're not going to Super Bowl. They're not going to the AFC Championship, but they're gonna they could have a good solid record.
Right.
They could have a winning record.
Right. Yeah, a couple nothing games. Ravens over the Jets, pretty much what we expect there.
Yeah.
Patriots are going to be bad this year.
Patriots are going to be bad. I think this is Belichick's last year.
You think? Yeah. We were. I was talking to my roommate about this last night. He's getting old, man. At what point is he just going to say, "I don't want to do this"?
Even visibly, like it's like Belichick's been an older guy, but he's just walking around like you're like, well, it's fucking Bill Belichick, and you see him walking around this year. Like after this game, he's walking out. He just kind of and I'm like, you can tell he's just not. Also, what are we doing with that whole coaching staff? They got like Matt Patricia calling like offense shit. Like it's just a weird. Everything's weird in New England right now.
Very much.
So I really think he's just like fucking.
The Waddle celebration is my favorite thing in the world right now.
I did not see it.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh my God!
What
Get on Twitter. It's Jalen Waddle when he scores. They do like a penguin waddle. It's the best.
That's good. I saw one. I think it was the Steelers after one of their. I think it might have been. I don't know if it was Minka or whoever, somebody. But this is probably my favorite celebration I've ever seen. They picked up Joe Burrow. And they threw the ball in the air, and they all shot it like they're like
duck hunting.
Yeah. It was awesome. I loved that. So, yeah, no, a lot of good celebrations in the NFL this week too, and it was just a great week.
Yeah. Not great news coming out of Dallas with the Dak Prescott news, and on top of that, they got absolutely ramshacked by the Buccaneers. So
yeah, that was rough. That was rough for Dallas. I feel bad because you hate to see that. You hate to see a starting quarterback go down week 1. Also, he was my fantasy quarterback too, so that's obviously a bummer as well.
Big bummer.
I drafted him and CD because I was like, they're gonna have a good connection this year. I'm fucked there. So I think we're gonna talk about fantasy a little bit here to wrap up the show in a minute. But yeah, it was a bad game for Dallas. Tampa came out slow though too. Tom, you could see, maybe this offseason was a kind of a struggle for him. And I'm not saying he's going to have a bad year or anything. They looked fine. They're going to be good. Todd Bowles is their head coach now, so that'll be interesting to see how that moves
I think they
forward.
just did a low-risk play calling scheme for week 1, which, looking at the rest of the league, that's probably not a bad way to go into week 1.
Yeah.
And then the last game on the docket, Raiders-Chargers. Chargers take down the Raiders 24-19. Both teams look pretty good. Both pretty much looked what we expected.
Yeah, that's gonna be any matchup like that. I'm not shocked. It was kind of it was a gritty little game there. Devontae, I don't know what Derek Carr's numbers were like, but they weren't great. I mean, they weren't nothing flashy.
I know he missed Devontae a time or two.
But that's just you'd hope they would have gotten that down in the off season, but that's just a connection that's they're gonna have to figure it out. This is the first regular season game together. I think by week 4 or 5 they're gonna be connecting a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that game, Chargers are good. Justin Herbert probably win an MVP. I think
he's a damn good quarterback.
He is.
He's a damn good quarterback. You need a new quarterback, but fantasy-wise, here to wrap out here.
Yeah.
Who were your superstars of the week? Who moving forward do you need to make sure you have on your team?
Well, Antonio Gibson was a big. I got shit on. I mean, I'll pull up the final score to my week.
I was playing in the Struggle Bowl and still pulled out the dub.
I lost 85 to 137, and Dak got me 4 points. Derrick Henry got me 8. I need bigger weeks from Derrick. He was my 3rd overall pick. That was a bummer. Antonio Gibson put up 20 for me, which I loved. Also, Kareem Hunt on my bench got 23 points.
Yeah.
So he's a guy. Robert Woods got 2 points. Like, I had just a terrible week of fantasy. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to make some trades or something. I need a new quarterback. Davis Mills is my backup. So
Well, I got three wide receivers for you right here that if you could still get them on the cheap, go ahead and do it. Brandon Cooks, for some reason, the league still hasn't woken up to what he can be as a fantasy asset.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas has proven that he is going to be that end zone threat for the Saints. We don't have
he's owned in my league, but
tight end is Benjamin Watson. We're not hitting those.
He's still?
Yeah, we're not hitting fucking
like
post routes with him. Like he is.
Yeah.
If they're within 5, he's the target there. If it's not Kamara.
Yeah.
And then my last dude, the dude who absolutely showed he can break it off and be Lamar's number 1 guy, Bateman.
Yeah.
Bateman showed that speed, absolutely broke it up the scene. And there was another dude who, honestly, name I had never, ever heard of before the other day. I'm not even going to find this quick enough. That other wide receiver for the Ravens. 2 touchdowns, had something like
Devin
100 plus
Duvernay?
Yes.
So Devin Duvernay played for UT. And he played for the Longhorns. He was good. I loved him. He was obviously, and he's playing for the Ravens now. And a lot of people have been talking about their wide receiver core being, not great, and it isn't. But Devin Duvernay is a guy that I'm happy to see him, having some success and producing in the NFL. Because he's solid. So Lamar, the Ravens are going to get it done, dude. Lamar looked good, bro.
He looked very good.
And did you see that contract he turned down?
We don't know if that's actually because he put on Twitter, I never received that offer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
And I think I was reading this. I think Lamar represents himself.
His mom does.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. I remember his mom is doing his negotiations, which is very
strange. Is his mom a lawyer?
I have no idea what his mom does.
She better be.
Yeah, right. Like I'm saying, but if he did turn down that $230 million contract, and I think it was like 140 guaranteed. But the report, and if Lamar said it's not true, then I believe that. But the report I saw was that it was 230 mil, 140 guaranteed, but he wanted it all guaranteed because that's what Deshaun got. And here's the thing. The Deshaun thing is so stupid, but there was a reason for that. There's a reason it was all guaranteed. It's because he knew he was going to get suspended. He had no idea. He didn't know what was going to happen. No quarterback's going to get that guaranteed money. No other quarterback. So Deshaun, all these quarterbacks think that set the market. It didn't. That is not happening. No one's going to get $230 million guaranteed. It's not going to happen.
We'll see. He's been liking pictures of him in Dolphins unis and shit like that. So we'll see what he can negotiate and bargain with over there.
I'm just saying, if Davis Mills isn't having a great year, we got a lot of cap space. Next year. So Lamar Jackson in a Texans uniform would look pretty good.
You hopped off the Davis Mills train, really?
No, I'm on it. Hey, but I've been saying that. I've been saying it. I'm like, look, I want Davis to be good, and I think he will be. I think he can be. I'm not gonna say I think he will be. I'm gonna say I think he can be. I think he has the potential. But if he ain't, if he doesn't produce this year, it's CJ Stroud season, or it might be Jimmy G season, or it might be Lamar fucking Jackson season. And if Lamar Jackson was a Houston Texan next year, wow.
No Bryce Young?
Bryce Young reminds me too much of Kyler Murray, and I don't like Kyler. I don't like Kyler.
All right, man. I think that is going to do it for us today. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Next week, Thursday, Chiefs-Chargers.
Ooh, what a great game.
Great one to start us off. Texans taking on the Broncos. Can they make a good team stumble twice?
Let's see.
We're going to see. We'll see y'all next week.
Later.